Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogan Monster here, and welcome to Why the Fascination. It's great to see everybody. It's WTF, as Stevie and I like to call it. What's up, Stevie?
What's going on? Hi, everybody. I'm doing good. Feel good.
Great to see
you.
It's
been a good day. Good to see you. Good to see everybody in chat.
It's good to be seen.
It is, indeed.
Would you say it is a good day, right?
It is. Has been. For sure.
Hey, Jay.
Shooing flies away. Sorry.
God willing, we're going to be neighbors. Hopefully, by this time next week, I will have my own place. That wasn't me.
There you go.
Another side.
Right.
That shit happens a lot with me, guys. I say something and ding.
A lot. Oops, sorry. Had to turn off YouTube.
Duh. Rookie.
I know. I am. That I am.
So, Danny Staten, what's up, man? How are you? Mr. Lee. Good to see you, man. Bustamante. Hey, chessboard. Mr. Nall. How are you, Claude? Brandy Haywood. Welcome.
Sorry.
She's got noise canceling headphones that aren't canceling noise.
They're not canceling anything. Sorry, everybody. It's not the wind, it's the frogs.
I'm apologizing. It's all good.
Yeah.
Your head looks this big, though.
What?
It's the distance. It's funny.
I know. At least you're not saying I have a big head.
What do you mean?
I'll take it. I know, right? Actually, I can't do that. I'd have to pick my phone up.
Big ass head. Or a big forehead, as Mr. Lee likes to say.
Big forehead. Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for the positive vibes and the prayers, because they're working. They are.
Absolutely. For sure.
So since I'm getting my own place, I'm going to have a roommate.
Indeed. I'm excited.
Yeah, she needs her own space, where she can thrive. That's what friends are for.
So grateful and excited.
Wooten, Wooten, I think. Wooten or TAN, Wootan. Probably not. Wooten, I think, Park is where the marina is at. Jay?
Mr. Lee says, what's happened to me as a roomie?
Yeah, I don't want pounds, dude. I want, or euros. I want American cash. Pounds of those things are ancient.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Mr. Lee. We got a couch for you.
Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this.
I am too. I mean, when you can look out the living room window and see the lake right there.
Is it? I don't know if it's what window it is. It's like the bedroom.
Oh, wait. Window? It might be. Yeah, it's got to be.
It's at the end of the house.
Yeah.
It's a trailer. It's a single wide, but it's on a lake.
Yeah. Cool.
I look out the window. I spit out the window. I hit the lake.
Yep.
And that's all I need.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks, Claude.
Yeah. I was reading reviews of the area today, sitting at work. Not terrible.
We all knew that was coming, Mogs. No separating you two now. Great news.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's just weird. Our relationship. It's
Well,
it's just it doesn't. I don't know. It's just it's
I
supposed
said
to be.
we always find our way back to each other eventually.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
Look how many
Not
times
you.
That's nice.
No, I mean, it is because of you, but it's not through your efforts.
Thanks. Well, I'm stuck. I can't go anywhere. You're the one that leaves. I said, what did I say? I said, you're always leaving me, but you always find your way back eventually.
Yeah. So, yeah, I am. What it was is, I got this job recently and got offered a different position in a different area, and I jumped on it. So I've been, commuting. Like today, I worked 9 hours and traveled 3.
Yeah.
An hour and a half there, hour and a half back, and I
That's
wasn't
horrible.
going to do that. So the one thing that I wanted to do was find a place up there, and I had X amount of dollars, and it's going to wipe out me completely to buy this. But I made an offer. The offer was accepted. I just got to, after the show, I got to finish filling out the application for the park. And yeah, it's a 55 plus community. Don't give a fuck.
I don't qualify.
No. I just
No.
need my own place. I don't care who my neighbors are, as long as they're cool.
Right. Me too.
You know what
Lord
I mean?
knows.
I don't need assholes next door.
Yeah, as long as that guy gets the stuff out of there, out of the yard.
Yeah. And but this is the cool thing, guys. So I bought this. I'm buying this single wide. It's the outside you look and you go, huh. I mean, it's white. Older, but the inside is so clean and so like the carpet in it brand new and
it's like walking into a model home,
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of.
Here's the kicker. It's as is, so all the furniture is included.
Everything.
I mean, you open up the cupboards and there's dishes, and you open up this,
There's silverware in the silverware drawer.
Yeah, it's turnkey. Bring your clothes and food, and that's it.
There was towels in the closet in the bathroom.
Yeah. So there's a washer and dryer. I'm stoked. I've never had this in my life. Like something like this is my own. I'm
excited.
Yeah. NAC, how are you? Chuck Gonzalez, what's up? Raptor Crazy, what's going on, dude? Northwood Scripted.
Raptor.
What's up, man?
He's staying. Raptor's asking, are you staying in Florida? I said, yeah, you're staying.
Yeah. For a while.
For a while.
Let's put it this way. Was built probably the early 70s and it's still standing. So
standing strong. I mean, from what I saw.
And it's inland. You got to understand, it's not coastal. It's inland, and inland can get their ass kicked too. But in 50 years, it hasn't.
No.
And there were some places that we looked at that online and stuff that were like from the 60s, and it looked like all the furniture and the decorations and everything from the 60s. Remember that?
It was a time warp. I mean, I was like, look at the dining room table and the chairs. It tripped me out.
How are you?
Everything. I mean, I was looking at
the homes have felt more like home compared to the houses I've lived in.
Me too. I grew up in one, from second grade up until I left the house, I was completely comfortable. I'm excited to go back to it. I love when it rains and the rain hits the roof.
You would know. I don't know what the hell it is.
Right?
It's white.
No shit.
But yeah,
With the lighthouse in the
right
front.
up to the roof.
With a lighthouse in the front. I like that. I like that lighthouse.
You know, they
Got a little
paint them
statue.
white to reflect the sun because it's hotter than. Anyway, it's hot down here.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a blank canvas. You know, it's what do we want to paint it? Do we want to go nuts? Do we want to keep it, white? You know.
Well, the neighbor's blue. Like, what would you call that blue?
Yeah,
It's
finish
like your
painting.
truck. It looks like your truck. It's the color of your truck.
NAC says I have built mobile homes and have lived in several also. Oh, that's a good idea, Brandy. Tie-dye trailer.
Thank you, Lee. Right? With a peace symbol on the side.
Big old pot leaf on the roof. Guys, it's not a landing pad,
Right?
It looks like, I'm sure, on the roof.
Excuse me. Have a seaplane.
What about the seaplane?
I said have a seaplane land on the roof.
Yeah, because Tavares is the seaplane capital of Florida, I guess. Or the United States, supposedly.
We still haven't figured out how to finish those sentences.
I gas up the boats at work at the same dock that the seaplanes gas at. So
very cool. Still haven't seen one land yet.
She says tie a bandana around the mailbox.
Right.
Yeah, they don't have individual mailboxes. They have like a group. You go down the street to the building and there's a big group mailbox.
I was going to say if we did, we could change colors for the season. Bandana on the mailbox.
Yeah, right.
I always
Richie gonna make it now. If Richie had to make dinner, he'd starve. No.
No.
No. Richie's a pretty good cook. Just don't let him cook shrimp.
Yeah. That's the only thing. That mangrove snapper he made. That was good.
He makes some good fish.
That was really good.
You guys, welcome. If you're new and you're watching, there's only like 30 people here watching, so it's I know how Thursday nights are. Don't care.
This is where the cool kids hang out.
Hey Jen, how are you? Rex Hand, what's up?
I said this is where the cool kids hang out.
Indeed. It was like 68.
Right?
I set up my pop-up. Everybody just hung out there. All the cool kids.
All the cool kids. That's what I said.
That's
where all the cool kids hang out. Yeah, God, I'll never forget that. That first night, that was so cool. Yeah, it was.
And it was all because of Bradley Hatcher.
Yep. It was.
Gary almost killing him.
Throwing him out of the back of the truck.
He goes over the railroad tracks and Bradley goes flying. I can really picture that. But yeah, we pulled in. They pulled in. Did they get before us? Yeah.
They got there before.
There. He was like all looking at our truck, our car, and I'm like,
everybody was getting out of the vehicles, and
he just went off.
Going off. He was mad because he was supposed to ride back with us. Not us. We weren't driving. We were just passengers. Somebody else was driving. But he was supposed to ride back in our vehicle. And
he goes off when we get back. He goes off, and he had a walk. What the hell did he break?
He had his walking stick.
Yeah,
he broke it.
we went off. But then to find out what happened when we got back to the campground, we just the target was already on his back. Now it's like, nope, he's the one.
Well,
and he had to laugh about it. So we
he sat down and
pisser of a night.
He was so mad when he sat down, and we all were just sitting there, the bunch of us just
throwing
first night of meeting each other, basically just all of us just meeting for the most part, everybody meeting for the first time. He sits down pissed off, and I mean we couldn't help but laugh, and then he started laughing, and it just went from there. I mean I can't remember another time in my life, I think, where I've laughed that hard. I thought I busted my rib. I did, because I got to laughing so hard.
What was great about that experience was everybody was on the same page. Everybody had the same sense of humor. Everybody was quick-witted.
Bounced off each other.
Yeah, absolutely. And we laughed our asses off. Those gut-wrenching, makes you snort, blow snot, laughing.
Barry Brown. Oh my God. I had heard, I never met Barry before that night, and I had heard that he was quick-witted, funny as hell, cool to be around, and it took like the first 2 minutes of him walking up for, I think, everybody to realize it, I mean, just, my God, somebody would say something funny, and then we'd laugh, and then somebody else would just throw something else in there and just keep laughing, and it just went on all night almost. I mean, It was late. It was like
people off.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure that's where some people got pissed from the beginning.
See, this is stuff you've never heard about the 168. This is the real 168.
the behind the scenes.
We won't get into everything, but
No, it was definitely one experience that I will never forget any of it.
There was drama, there was laughter, there was sadness, there was deception, there was a whole bunch of different shit going on.
It was like being with family. I mean, just like almost like a family reunion, but none of us had met before.
Mr. Haywood,
that's
what's going on?
Like.
No, we made family that night. I might not talk to Larry anymore, or Mark. I mean, and we saw Barry in August or whenever it was.
We all keep in touch,
But
I mean, I do.
I could hop on the phone with Mark right now and be like, "What's up, dude? How you been?" And have a conversation.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Same thing with Bradley and Barry and all of
Barry and everybody.
I could probably do the same thing with what's his name? What's his name? You know who I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
The security from 168.
Oh, Jeff Townsend.
Jeff Townsend. Yes, it wouldn't come to mind. I could call him, but I wouldn't understand damn word he says.
I love Jeff. That's my big brother there. I chatted with him yesterday. I think every once in a while we'll shoot each other a couple words here and there, and we keep in touch. Family for life. It's so amazing.
But the one thing about the 168 that really was good was the food.
Oh my God.
It's like I couldn't wait to eat.
Right? Absolutely. I mean, steak night,
Sharon talked to Jeff the other day. He's doing good. Right on.
Yeah, he is. He is. He actually got some much needed sleep, and I was pretty happy about that because I think he's like me a lot. Keeps going and going and going until he can't. So good. He's got some rest. He's doing good.
What's up, Rich? Trackway, how are you? New name for WTF. Moog should be Stevie B and Moog Show. Why does she get to go
No.
first?
Ladies first.
Yeah, Sharon said he never sleeps.
No, he doesn't. He's up all night and he will chat all night. We've had some long conversations to the point where I'm getting ready to go to work and telling him I gotta go. I gotta go get ready.
Jay says
Just
Russ.
early.
Need what? What do I need? Jay?
Yeah, I saw that. I was wondering how that sentence ended.
So yeah, guys, if anybody wants to pop on tonight and come hang out with Stevie and I, talk about whatever, we'd love to see new faces. We're always looking to see new faces.
Absolutely.
Faces are new. We know you guys, for years. So it's just putting a face to some of you.
Well, talking about the 168, I mean, that's where we've said it before. That's where you and I met face to face the first time. You drove in from Arizona. I tried catching up with you all the way across the country to ride back with you, but that was a nightmare of a day. But that night you got there, that was the first time we had seen each other. We had talked for God. We'd already been best friends up to at that point.
Yeah, but our greeting was
interrupted. That's a good way to put it. It was interrupted. Abruptly
it went from a nice moment to a what the fuck moment.
Yeah. Quick.
And then it went to
real quick.
Then it all turned to shit.
It did. It all went to shit.
That was when I know I've told this story, and oh shit. Hold on, I gotta close my door. Hold on. I've told this story. When I got to the 168 campground, I'm driving a U-Haul or whatever it was, budget 16-foot box van. I don't know who Donnie is. He keeps popping up backstage, and he says, and then he keeps going away. I haven't seen a Donnie in chat. So I pull in with this trailer, and I'm towing my pop-up, and my legs are cramped up. I mean, I couldn't drink enough water. I was just miserable.
Well, you had been driving for like 12 hours straight.
Like aggravated. And I get to the gate. Stevie meets me there.
True story. It's midnight. It's midnight.
Stevie meets me there. I give her a hug. First time we're meeting. And this truck pulls up to the gate. Now that I got to pull through the gate. And I'm like, what's going on here? And it's like
pulls up behind me.
I can't back up because I'm back. I'm back up the highway. I mean, you
got the pop up.
Yeah. So the truck moves. She opens the gate. Something stupid happened, and it just set me off. And I screamed. I said, "Why the fuck can't anything go right?" And I said it loud, but it was just me venting, and it had nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah.
And I turned as soon as I said that, I turned to my left, and I see someone approaching my vehicle really quickly. Well, and the door was, I don't know if the window was down.
Well, we're in the middle of nowhere, basically. I mean, it's midnight, and just setting up the scenery of it.
Figure approaching my truck. And I immediately jump out, and I'm ready to go. I'm like, as soon as I jumped out, I said, don't fucking walking up on somebody's vehicle like that. What the fuck is with the attitude? It's Carrie.
Carrie Arnold.
Carrie Arnold. And so
I'm over by the gate, and I hear them.
Don't walk up on anybody like that, dude. That was like threatening to me. So I stepped out to take care of business.
Well, he came up behind you, and he
wasn't expecting to look somebody eye to eye.
Yeah, right. So the height.
before it could even go further than that, Stevie goes, the dogs. Well, both
I
my
yelled.
dogs
I
were
said, the
grabbing
dogs!
me. They took off and ran towards
Towards
the
me
street.
at the gate. I'm at the gate and they're running straight for me. I see them jump out the truck. I see Lucy first, and then I knew Maya was right behind her. By the time Maya hit the ground, I yelled, "The dogs!" That was going on.
Well,
Him
as soon
walking
as
up on
I
me.
heard of that, there was no one standing in front of me anymore because I just dunk, I split. And I take off after the dogs because they're going towards the street, or they just crossed the street, and it's midnight, but people do 70 miles an hour on the street.
There's
And
trucks a lot.
it's Danny that's having a problem. I thought it said Donnie. Danny's he's not being able to sign on. So I take off, and I don't even don't look behind me. I just take off running, and I cross the street, and I get into these weeds, and I'm hauling ass, and I stepped on the collar, or no, somehow I like tackled Lucy or some shit to stop her. She wouldn't stop, and or Maya had a leash on.
It was Maya. It was Maya.
I stepped on hers, and we got, next thing I know, Carrie's like right next to me, and he picked up Lucy, and he's holding Lucy. So we walked out, but we're both like ready to puke because we hauled ass.
I'm standing at the gate, and I'm standing at the gate, and y'all ran first the dogs, then it was you, and Carrie comes walking up a little bit. He's like, what do I do? I'm like, go help him. I couldn't. I had a bum foot. I'm like, so he takes off running after you. I didn't see which way you went off to the woods to the left, and I saw him go a little bit closer to the right, and I'm standing there. All I know is it's midnight. Y'all had ran so far off that I didn't hear any of you. I heard crickets, and I'm standing there like, what the fuck?
Well, we run into these across the street, into this grass, into this, there's trees and whatever. I'm just following my dogs, and we went in a good distance. But the next day we realized that if you guys look at a map, and people who live in Florida know that from Lake Okeechobee, both going out east and west, are canals. One goes to the east coast, one goes to the west coast. Yeah, well, if my dogs didn't stop, that canal was probably 10 feet from where we stopped. If we didn't stop my dogs, that was, and there's gators in there, and I mean, you saw the you saw the gators when we were fishing by that canal right outside of Okeechobee. Yeah, there were some big gators.
Yeah, you can't appreciate it just by talking about it, but if you saw how close y'all were potentially in the canal, we saw it the next morning, and we're like,
that was my introduction to Stevie. That was my first meeting with Stevie and my first meeting with Carrie.
Yeah.
So
I'll never forget that.
Yeah. So that guy was a little tainted, the rest of the trip. He didn't like his opinion changed to me, apparently. But my opinion changed to him too. So there was no love lost, but I still respect the man. I respected the man. And to this day, I appreciate what he did and has done, for this community.
Absolutely.
I just get to see a side that most people don't, But yeah, he's missed.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've said forever grateful to him for putting together the 168, because I found my family, And
I was there by chance. I mean, I wasn't there by chance, but the fact that I was asked to stay kind of took me up.
Yeah, but you were originally invited, but then you couldn't. You
originally
backed out. Originally, yes. So it wasn't like, So you were pretty much welcome anyways, because you were invited. You were one of the
But
original to be
my
invited.
plan was to just drop the trailer off for Stevie to use, and then I was going to continue on. I might have camped. I was going to camp a couple days if I could. But yeah, I just wanted them to have the trailer and some comfort and.
Yeah. Well, I was going to get you to stay anyways. I had already made up my mind that you were staying anyways. I mean, because you were part of the original. You were invited way before I was. Absolutely. I feel like I was the one that was invited by chance. In the end, it was closer towards the end. You know, the time of the 168. You were invited way before that, the original.
Yeah, I had to back out.
But yeah, I'm grateful to Carrie for that. I did find my family.
I'm just. Well,
yeah, I'm kind of reading.
Well, I'm talking about Carrie and people are Mr. Lee said he misses him, and but Raptor's like, don't bring up Bigfoot Odyssey, but I've been talking. So
right, yeah, right. No, I miss Carrie too. I do. I mean, I told you before. There's times I could text him anytime. I'd get a response back, almost right away. And if he couldn't talk, he would tell me.
I don't know if he would have taken my call.
I think he would have.
No, I know.
I think he would have. Yeah, but I'm sure he would. And it was his show it was Bigfoot Odyssey that I saw you for the first time. I'd seen you in chat forever.
Oh, yeah. Well, when I first started, he used to come on and hang out, and I co-hosted a show over there with Bradley.
Absolutely. He was in chat. He was in chat a lot. Many nights he was in chat here.
Yeah. But after 168, you didn't see him around much, did you? It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. That's the first time I was ever on YouTube live. Was it was in October of who knows what 16? No, that's 16.
19.
19.
I want to say 19.
Somewhere around there.
All I know is
I was already like,
where I saw you the first time, and then that's where I really saw you face to face the first time. Was all because of Bigfoot Odyssey, Carrie Arnold, and the 168.
Hilton Whittlewood, what's up, brother? Good day. Good to see you, man.
That mom said October 2020.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, she says that's how she first saw you too on Bigfoot.
Yeah, well, that was he did the 8 days of Halloween or some shit, and it was this.
I ended up winning. I ended up winning I think that was when YouTube first came out with join their Patreon almost, but be a member, and I won one of those memberships for. Of all channels, Dark Waters, for that Halloween giveaway. I never claimed it. I never accepted it. It was funny. But I won that Halloween night, actually. I remember because it was a full moon. I was sitting out on the beach.
The link is in chat if anybody wants to click on it and come hang out. I see Danny trying, but he's just not getting through. Sorry, buddy. You don't have the good signal tonight.
Sharon Guy said they're all getting smoke from Canada fires all the way there in Louisiana.
Oh yeah, they're calling it a purple alert. It's an air quality alert. Wow. It's not good. Can't those Canadians fight fires? I don't know. Where's Dale speaking Canadian?
I was talking to Claude Knoll. couple days ago, and he had to move again because of the smoke. He sent me a picture of,
Yeah, but that's
just
not
like a
from.
wall. No, I'm
That's
not saying
not
it's from that, but I'm just saying.
Those are local fires, I believe.
Right, right. But
But
still, the
yeah,
smoke was
although he
so
is in
intense.
Louisiana, so
Yeah.
that's possible.
Yeah, there was like a wall of
Maybe it's
smoke coming
been
through the trees.
Canadian smoke all along, and Claude just figured it was a fire burning down the street.
Right. Right. Could be.
Hey, Norman. Hello.
Hilton.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny.
He's a purple alert, non-gender specific.
That is funny.
Mr. Lee says, I would like for Miss Dilly to come on live. Rick's hand.
In your PJs.
PJ's smoking a cigar. That would be in Dill fashion.
With her feet up and her slippers on.
Danny's still trying.
Is it?
Yeah.
What's going on with that? You know, when the show started, the countdown froze for twice during the countdown. It went from like 30, it stopped, and then went to 12, and then it stopped again for another second or two. It might have been my signal, but I was like, oh no. You know, I'm trying to get it together and start the show right with you. And I'm like, that's, here we go.
There's no protocol to this, It's just show up.
No, but I'm wondering if there's something going on with StreamYard again. I don't know. It's been fine ever since, but.
Oh, meaning that might be why Danny can't get on?
Why he's having trouble. Yeah, maybe. Or he just has issues. I mean.
Well, let's see. Somebody else hit that. Hey, Caucasian Sasquatch, what's up? Somebody else hit that link and let's find out.
I would like for Sharon Guy to come on, and she doesn't have to be on the camera. I just want her to come on and have a conversation.
See, I'm not going to call people out like that.
I will, because I want to see her come on. She's gonna yell at me now. Watch. No, she wouldn't yell at me. She's probably one of these, if not the sweetest women on YouTube in this community.
Interesting why I'm late. Safeway delivered my food to a different apartment complex. All the frozen stuff is melted and refrigerated is lukewarm. Hee hee. Yeah, that sucks.
He's lucky you got it. He's lucky you got it. Somebody else didn't claim it. Free groceries.
Right? Here's your soup.
Right. Hope there was no ice cream in that.
Everything melted.
Yeah, right.
Keep your oxygen on, Claude.
Right.
Says Sharon.
She's not going to yell at me. She'll just ignore the fact that I'm trying to get her to come on.
What else is in here?
Jay, is that your dinner? Because that kind of sounds good. What?
There's a joke there.
Okay. I thought I missed something. I saw you laugh.
He's getting his salad tossed. Couldn't resist. Sorry, Jay. Not really.
No, I was going to say, no, don't apologize.
Wow.
Yes, Sharon, I did go there. I'm still going there. You should jump on. It's the link. You don't have to be on camera. Just come say hi.
Cat.
Grasshopper said Jay's too old to be tossed. Grasshopper said Jay's too old to be tossed.
Oh, he's not that big, so somebody might trip over him, but me next to Jay is just it's funny.
Jay says no tossing, splits, yes. I got a visual of wall to wall in his house, wall to wall.
Who had said that? Was fun.
I know that was. So now that's how I see his house.
Graz just throws some dressing on Jay, and he's all set.
There you go.
Mr. Claude, how's it going?
Good evening.
How you doing?
Hey, Claude.
I'm not gonna push it because my service is running between 1 and 2 bars, so I'm not even gonna try the camera. So
No, we hear you good.
Good. Congratulations on the trailer.
Oh, thank you, man.
Yeah, that's good. I knew
it just seemed like
coming.
the right thing to do, and everything just lined up, and then the stars and the moon, and it was just bizarre how everything just happened so quickly.
Well, I told Stevie today that I knew it was coming. She let the secret out, and I told her, I said, I knew that. I could tell. So it's good. I'm glad y'all did that. Or you're doing it, whatever,
Yeah. It's going to be a good thing. It is a good thing.
Well,
Not gonna be. It is a good
you
thing.
guys can talk about Bigfoot. I see you guys have a great night.
You must be.
Raptor,
You must be on a delay.
There's no reason for you to bow out, dude. Oh. We're done talking about it. It's all good. You don't have to run away.
Plug in the earbuds here so I don't have to do all this yelling. Still there? Hello?
Jen says, talk whatever with the Monster and Stevie. And there's the link. So if anybody wants to click on the link, come join the three of us.
Absolutely.
There you go. Where's Sharon, guy? Bring yourself out, girl. Come on.
She said she would one day. She wrote she would one day. She promises.
Duke, what's up, man? World Bigfoot Radio. Good to see you, Duke. Hope you're doing well.
About me and all the smoke.
Dude, and actually, the last time I heard anything about Duke, he was getting ready to go camping. I think we watched one of his premieres not that long ago. Oh, shit. Somebody just popped in the back and went away. Whoever that was, I apologize if you've been sitting there for a while. How's the smoke, Claude?
Come back.
You found, huh?
How's the smoke? Is it that bad?
Not bad right now. And I did get a little whiff of it today, but I can't see it, and as long as I can't see any level of smoke, I'm pretty good.
Okay.
No, I can't.
Yeah, that picture you sent me, that was pretty bad.
The what?
I said that picture you sent me the other day with the smoke. Yeah, that was pretty bad. It was like a wall of smoke coming through the trees. He's like, time to go.
I think that was local. To be that thick, it had to be local. There's no way that was coming out of Canada.
Right. No, that was thick. That was like a wall of smoke coming through.
Yeah.
Mugs better be thankful that Raptor didn't block him from his own show for talking about it. What?
I'm fixing to go.
He was going to block me. I know, right? Well, I don't want to upset anybody, but I don't see the need for the drama either. Like,
yeah, no.
Okay,
else.
I'm gonna buzz off. The more I talk, the more I cough, so it's not a good thing. So anyway, y'all have a good night.
Yeah, go
Peace
take
out.
it easy.
Cool.
I'll
It's good
talk
to
to you soon,
hear
Paul.
from you. I was going to say see you, but I don't see you.
No.
Okay,
Stay safe, man.
we'll talk later.
Yeah,
Bye.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Bye.
Well, that was
Still,
brief.
the signal was a bit choppy too.
His wasn't terrible.
Yeah. No, not terrible, but
What color is it, Dill?
right.
It might
Is
be
it the
here.
right or the left? The right or the left side? I know.
Unless you wear tube socks, and then you just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Most socks doesn't matter.
I know. I was being silly. Hilton, you should come on because you haven't been on in a long time. We haven't seen you in a while. See your pretty face.
You just call people out. I just leave it to
I
chance.
will. I'm like, come on. I, you know, I wish everybody would, at some point. You could fit 10 people on there. Hey, wait, where is Michael Haywood tonight? Has
He
he
was
been
here.
in here?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Scrolling
didn't
back
see
to
him.
see where he.
Uh,
No, he was here. He was here.
I don't believe you.
Oh no, he's been here.
I don't see him. I'm scrolling back.
Excuse me.
Oh, I see him. Way back. He hasn't been in a
Oh
while.
yeah.
Sorry.
No worries.
I just realized I hadn't seen him.
Hey, yeah, Bat Mom. Donald Fuller sent me something. I haven't looked at it yet because it wouldn't download, but you know what I'm talking about. That's all anybody needs to hear. They didn't have to hear that, but she knows what I'm talking about. I just wanted to get that across to her. I haven't looked at it yet. I don't know. I know the gist of what's going on, but I didn't see it.
Don't worry, guys. I'm just as lost as you are.
Well, this is between me and Bat.
Well, I know. That's what
Y'all
I'm
are
saying.
just eavesdropping.
If you kind of put it out there. So. That mom says it's not me, just so you know.
What's that?
That mom says it's not me, just so you know.
No, I know.
Meaning her.
I heard that, but I didn't. It wouldn't let me open it.
Oh.
Whatever Donald sent me. What is this? Yes, Sonic. Jay Fritz. His new nickname, Sonic. That's it.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta look at the schedule. I think I'm working Saturday and Sunday. I think I said that, right? Yeah. Sorry,
I think you said that, yeah. No. Cool.
Oh, you gotta
I think
forgive
you
it.
said.
Like Stevie and I'll sit here on our phones and have face to faces all the time. So this is just like another
Normal.
cover. Normal.
Yeah. We've gone hours of just hanging out. That's what I said. It's like, coming on the show.
Again. Let's see if you can do it.
Coming on the show is just that. You forget after a while. You forget after a while when you're on here that you're on a show. It's easy to forget about. Yeah, right?
It's just you and me. Unless somebody else wants to hit that link. Miss Dale, thank you for putting up that link. Also, Jen and Mr. Lee, thanks for moderating. Really, I appreciate it.
Right.
Great enough.
I'm thankful to them.
So you
Definitely.
you don't need your wrench anymore, do you? No.
Who?
You.
You don't touch my wrench. Leave my wrench right where it is. No, I'm grateful for Bill and Lee both. Jen too. Those guys
Yeah,
work hard.
but Dylan
I sit and hang out.
and Lee have been busting their asses for a long time.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Well, Bill ran the show the night you had the Queens of Cryptid on. I mean, that I was so impressed. That was a lot. That was a lot. She's amazing. Kept up with posting everybody's links and it was she was amazing. I couldn't do it. I don't do it. I never do. I hardly ever. I mean, occasionally when I've had to, but no. I'm a moderator by proxy, I think.
The most moderating that has to be done here usually is what they're doing is posting a link. That's it.
Posting a link.
I used to do it all the time with Paranormal Portal. That was my thing. I just put a link and the phone number.
That's where I used to see you all the time.
And it's weird because it just it got to be like a job where I was too into it. It was too like.
I remember you moderating 2 shows at one time. Yeah, when
Texas Front Porch and Bigfoot Odyssey. I moderated both at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was a
I
Monday
remember
night.
that. I had to plug my phone in.
And only one person realized it because they were in both chads. I forget who it was.
Well, I knew. I remember that. Yeah, I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Who
the other thing, guys, this whole karaoke contest is a little weird. Just it's 2 bars. They challenge each other. So they got 10 from this bar and 10 from this bar. Like the bars each came up with those 10 after running, a few weeks worth of contests. So last night, maybe there was 19 that showed up. So last night, 19 people sang 2 songs. That took over 4 hours. And they took 12 people to the finals. Didn't make sense, but so yeah, I'm going to the finals. And it's next week. It's next Wednesday. I thought it was later in the month, and Stevie was going to go, and now Stevie can't go. So
okay. We have bigger and better things to.
I feel bad about that. Yeah, no, because then Thursday, hopefully. I
definitely have something to look forward to. It's all good. It's all good. What I say
says, unbeknownst to me, I have a wrench on Texas Front Porch. I used to, and I think they took it away.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon. MPW, what's up? Great to see you.
Right.
Who else snuck in here? I'm glad to see numbers going up. 37. Tuesdays do a lot better than Thursdays. Thursdays, there's a lot of different shows on, so
Yeah, I'm saying it's almost 10 o'clock, so somebody's shows are ending. Probably more than one.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I want to see if that number goes up at all.
Right.
If anybody leaves, say whoever is on, who is on tonight is.
I honestly don't know.
That's where that bastard is. Papa Craig's missing. He's over there. He's over on Larry's show.
Yeah.
No, I mean he's on camera right now.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's check.
Is it? I can't check. Well, I can on my tablet if I want to see. Can I lose chat?
I know somebody else in here is watching too.
Oh, I'm sure. Probably a few. Lee's probably one of them.
I'm gonna go into their chat. And everybody's gonna be there too.
Yeah.
Who am I on?
You're right.
All right, let's see. Oh, look, we're live. Oh my goodness. What are we looking for? Yeah. That's how bored we are, guys. We're just gonna start looking up other people's shows. Maybe that's not tonight. I thought it was tonight. No. Oh well. I just wanted to go bust Papa Craig's balls. Just hop in their chat and go, Papa C, we miss you in chat. No, that'd be rude, wouldn't it? How much longer are we on?
Jump off.
Tonight?
I don't know if you can. You hear me?
For another hour. What's that? What about hearing you? Okay, then. Apparently, Stevie's having technical difficulty. She'll be back momentarily. Yeah, Duke, we're on for another hour. No, I'm not going to show reactions. Yeah, man, absolutely. Miss Dill, right below your Miss Dill just posted the link, Duke. So yeah, come hang out, man. Jen, thanks for posting that too. Rosemary Andrews, how are you? Very good to see you. Excuse me for a minute. I got a cough. Pardon me. Even though you didn't hear it. Yeah, it was fun last night. It was just, there were so many, that's a lot of singers, 20 singers. And now to go into the finals with 12 singers, I don't know how they're going to score that. Like there's three places, there's first, second, third. But it just seems like a lot of people to go to the finals. But it should be fun. No idea what I'm singing. It was weird because you were there, weren't you, Mr. Lee? You heard me. Says I sang I'm too sexy. Wasn't really a Right Said Fred fan. Patrick Vaughn, how's it going? Who's your squatch? What's up, buddy? Who else? It's funny. She just popped into my head and now she's backstage. What's up?
Sorry. My it was weird. The earbuds said something about, I heard noise cancellation, and then it went silent. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear you. I couldn't get any sound to it. So I turned them off, and I'm on my tablet. I apologize for
It sounds better.
Okay, good.
It does. I said it earlier when you put them in. I was like, they don't sound good.
All right. So
Bet you left me.
there's no wind. Excuse me, no breeze tonight, so that shouldn't be a
So
bother.
if you hear any frogs, forgive her.
Well, I'd be surprised if you didn't, honestly.
She is sitting on a lake right now, on the edge of a lake. Well, no, you're actually on the lake.
I'm on the lake. Yeah, so the pier goes out over
the lake. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you're hovering over the lake.
So it's so dark back here, you can't see anything. There's no houses or anything to light it up, but yeah, I'm on a pier. It's pretty cool.
Excuse me.
Keeping you up?
Forgive me. My ass. Yeah, actually.
Actually, yes. No, I
now
feel
that
bad.
you mention it.
You've had a long day. I feel bad.
Oh,
I knew. I said yesterday, today was going to be a long day for you.
Because I drove up yesterday just to go up and get the paperwork done on and put an offer in, the deposit. So I drove the 2 hour and a half up, hour and a half back, but it's all going to be worth it.
It is all worth it.
What's the Dukester up to?
I'm still.
Howdy, Duke. Can you hear us?
Hey guys.
Hey, dude. Good to see you.
You look bored. I figured I'd come on and entertain you.
Yeah, we're bored.
This is just he and I hanging out like we always do.
How was your last camping trip? Dude. I think he froze up.
Yeah. But it almost looked like you did too. I was like, okay.
I was sitting there with my mouth open.
You were very still for a few seconds. I was like,
oh, that's a neat trick.
What? I'm like, wait, what?
It disappeared.
Wow.
Dina P, how are you? There's Michael. He's back.
All right. I got to bring back up chat.
I don't. That's weird. He must have froze, got up, and then it went back. So he's probably live now, but he ain't there.
That is weird. Case of the body snatchers.
Feels like there's more people here.
Right.
Oh no, he just packed out.
It's good to see him though for a second.
Was it live or was it Memorex? I have no idea.
Hard to say.
Mr. Lee, thanks for posting Duke's channel.
Hopefully he'll come back on.
I just like the music on his show.
Right.
Swamp Ritual.
Yeah, no.
Cool. Drummer and a bass. It's just cool as hell.
It is.
It's just to jam out. I don't know why it this weird night for. Is there a solar flare anywhere? I'm missing something. I'm just saying it's like just a weird night for signals. Mr. Lee is like, Dan, you must try again. That poor guy, he's been trying all night.
Oh god.
I see him pop up backstage and it just says must connect equipment. Like something's not clicking. Yeah. Icon, what's up?
Oh, I keep forgetting I gotta put it back on all messages. It stays on top message and doesn't move. I'm like, what?
Why do people put a huge microphone in front of their face?
Oh, my phone was in front of mine.
This is mine right now. This is my Yeti. I keep it low because, my fist distance or whatever it is. It's like, I think it's loud enough. And it's not in my face. Yeah, no, people like the way that looks, dude. I think, they get their arm coming off of the thing and their microphone's hanging upside down and they got their little
screen in front of it.
And the spit shield and,
That's what I always thought it was.
You got the little styrofoam or foam cover over the top to prevent the peas from popping.
I almost dropped my phone. I said I have to be careful of dropping things out here. It'll end up in the lake.
Yeah, right. Did you ever find that energy drink?
No, the water's too high.
Oh, now it's high, huh?
Yeah. Well, we got all that rain this past week.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
So it's not terribly high. It's back to normal. Let's put it that way. But it's definitely enough to where I can't.
I had some customers or members coming in today. Customers coming they had reserved a boat, and the storm came in just before they got there, so it was really like they had to wait a little while.
So what was that kid's name?
Oh, what?
Hey.
Hey, this is why I don't just pop on shows, because by the time I fire up the studio, string the Ethernet cable across the whole friggin' building, it takes like 20 minutes, so I don't want to bother
and
most
steal
of the
your
time.
neighbor's cable.
Too much like work.
Because our Wi-Fi here in Montana is so fucking good. You might as well be living on the fucking moon.
You wouldn't think, because you have such a, you don't have issues with your show with the signal, do you?
No, because I always have it set up way in advance, and I use the Ethernet cable and everything.
Okay.
I usually get on guests from the middle of nowhere, and they have problems on their end, so at least I have the ones on my end solved.
Yeah, that's usually the case. Is somebody else's signal is not as good as yours.
Well, considering most of my guests are living like in a friggin' mountain range in the middle of nowhere, or on some mesa in New Mexico or something. Yeah, they got really great internet.
Better off with smoke signals.
Yeah, right. Pretty much. That's what they usually use. That's why they don't care about their internet. So yeah, what a thrilling month it was last month. It was just busy, and we got to go out 2 consecutive weekends and do some Bigfoot research, which for me is pretty unusual. And we were going to try and actually go out today, but of course it's got to be pouring rain, so it's a complete waste of time. Didn't bother.
So you finding things, seeing stuff? I mean, you always do.
The video that I'm working on.
What you saw this time.
Yeah. Well, if you want to see all the finding things and showing stuff, go watch last weekend's show, or it's the presentation I did at the Nebraska Bigfoot Conference.
Oh, right on.
And that's like best of from the last 2 years. So you get to see some of the largest structures on Earth and about a dozen Bigfoot on video. So there you go. What we were doing the last couple of weeks is reconning around the area around the ghost town that we like to go to, and we figured out where they're kind of hanging out near it, so we don't need to go to the ghost town anymore. Yeah. And we got additional bonus stuff like the drone video. We got a drone now, so we're getting drone video from the top of the mountain.
Oh, right on.
Which, of course, always looks cool. And when I was out there with Viking, we didn't find too much. We got a whole bunch of cool video of the area and stuff, and reconned the roads, drove around with his Jeep because we could get into everywhere that you can't normally get into. So I did some quick recon there. And then a couple days later, I went up with my new roommate here, who's a pure-blooded native. And he's seen one before, too, but he had never been Bigfooting before. We went up there and walked around, and he's Sioux. Walked around and found a whole bunch of tracks, videotaped those. Those will all be on the upcoming show. There's one big boy up there, apparently, because we found 3 different tracks from him in different places. And one of them was really good and obvious, and I managed to actually get decent video of it. And you'd be surprised how not easy that is. Oh, it's a track right there. You can see it with your naked eye. Yeah, take a picture of it and look at the picture. Can you see anything? No. And trying to get it on video is a little easier.
Did you say he was
change
Sue?
angles with it, and you use the sun's deflection to actually show the track for you. Like if you're trying to take a picture at noon, you ain't going to see shit.
Kind of like trying to take a picture of a shadow.
You get the sun at the east or west angle, then you see the shadow on the track because the indention in the ground. That makes it show up a lot better. So we've literally found tracks in the middle of the day and then come back later on in the afternoon to film them, because otherwise you can't see the damn things. So this particular day, we were doing all the track finding later in the afternoon. So everything we were finding, we could film it right on the spot, just get it the right angle to it. And one of the three tracks from the big boy was actually really obvious on video. So I'm very happy with that. And when you're standing back and you're looking at the track and you got the tape measure on it, in order to get the whole track on video, you're so far back that you can't see the numbers on the tape measure. And that's because the track's 22 inches long.
Damn. Wow.
Yeah, 12 foot, big boy.
Jeez.
12 foot. Damn.
That's incredible.
That's actually fairly average for the big males up here. They get bigger than that.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of stories out of Alaska, and
they have really big ones up there too.
A lot of big ones.
Yeah.
10 is common, 12 is common. You don't. To me, that's just absurd.
Around here,
that's what I'm saying.
In my main research area, we find lots of tracks from the sub-adults, like the teenagers, and they're all 17, 18 inches long. So, you're looking like 8 or 9 feet tall. Those are just the teenagers. Those aren't the adults. That one I got on my video that I put out last weekend that was standing 30 feet behind me, he's about 12 feet tall. His nose is the size of my friggin' head.
How tall? 13?
About 12 feet.
12.
Like I said, picture his nose is the same size as my head. How big is he?
Yeah, it's a big nose. So
yeah,
his head's like this.
Damn.
Yeah, and he was obliging enough to sneak up right behind me during the day while I was filming. So all I had to do was just turn around, catch him on camera, and turn back again. And Bama Bigfoot's the one that pointed him out in the video and went, "Hey, you did get one there. Look." And I'm like, "Oh, great. Wow. Now I got PTSD again. Thank you."
Right?
She does that a lot. She's got several really scary ones in my video and pointed them out to me. And I go back and look and go, "Oh, my God, she's like 20 feet away from me." And giving me the stink eye, too. Good thing I didn't notice it while I was filming.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I hear shit like this. Like I keep saying, "Oh, I want to see one. I want to see one." Then I'm like, "Do I?"
Well, go look at my video and then decide if you want to see one after that. I actually had Kelly Shaw from Rocky Mountain Sasquatch do a breakdown on one of the clips, which I think he got like 50,000 views on his channel with it.
Really?
But it was, where we got 3 of them. We actually got a young female, a sub-adult, probably male, and then the young female's got some kind of a pet with her, a little critter on. Haven't been able to ID it yet, but all 3 of them are back in this little stand of pine trees, and Eric's swinging his camera around and he gets all 3 of them. Doesn't even realize he's got them, and he just starts zooming back out again, still not realizing that he has them on camera. We're looking at it afterwards. As soon as he swings the camera around on him, the little female and the little critter duck down. And you can see her behind the pine branches wrestling around to this damn thing the whole time. He's got him on camera. The sub-adult ducks over to the side behind this pine tree.
Hold on.
Somebody's got noise.
Sorry, I had to mute Stevie.
Thanks. Anyway, the sub-adult ducks behind this pine tree, does a wood knock, then peeks back out again to see if anybody's looking at him. Well, the cameraman's still got the camera up and hasn't taken it off of him. He's just zooming back out again. So what Kelly did is he zoomed back in 400% so you could see this area where he was at. And sure enough, he ducks behind the tree, does a wood knock, then peeks back out and looks again. And of course, this blew Kelly away because first of all, you get a great face shot. And secondly, he pointed this out, and I think he's right. It's the only time that anybody's ever gotten a Bigfoot on video doing a wood knock.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard anybody get a wood knock.
Yeah, you can see him do it,
It just got loud, so I had to.
No, there was another one that went by right after that. That's why I stayed muted.
Oh, okay. But just keep that in mind.
No, I know.
So yeah,
It's hard
anyway,
to-
this weekend
Hard to
all
catch
the
it. They come up so quick.
video from Coloma, from May, and also from another place over in near Helena where Team B was running around one day and just random road driving, and Viking Ashton spotted some structures from the road and went, "Stop! Hold on! I got to go over there." And he goes running over there, and Austin's waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally Ashton hears Austin going, "Hello, hello," and he's like, "Oh, come down here! I found a bunch of structures and a track." And by the time Austin get down there, he'd found a second track. So he's got pictures of both of those and all the big cluster of structures they had made there. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, I got a lot of track pictures and structures and incredible drone video and whatnot to show on upcoming show for this weekend. And also the big documentary that I did about going over to Nebraska. I'll be working on part 2 of that. Part 1's already out.
Was that the conference?
The conference video, I did that last weekend. That's already out. And I didn't show the conference footage. I showed the actual raw video and did a voiceover on it. So it's actually better than what the people at the conference got to see. Much better.
Right
on. No distortion on a giant screen. No crappy audio from the big, huge hall they had it in. So better than the people that were there, actually, if you want to watch it. But while we were there, we also filmed a documentary because we got sick of this stupid TV show that purports to be attempting to find Bigfoot and couldn't find their own asses with both hands in a road map. We decided that we would show them how it's done. And I took a challenge from somebody that said, "You're always talking about how bad they suck. Let's see what you guys can do." You know, they're not on their home turf. They're going to a different place all the time. And I went, "Good point. I've got that coming up on my schedule. I'll go to a state where I haven't been doing any Bigfoot research before, and I'll get my whole team from other places outside that state that do Bigfoot research, and we'll do what they do. We'll show up, except we'll actually have actual Bigfoot researchers, not just TV celebrities,
Sure.
as members of the team. And just to make things extra difficult, we'll do it in Nebraska, where there's so many Bigfoot reports, and everybody knows the state is full, chock-a-block full of Sasquatch and Bigfoot sightings.
Is it?
Fuck no.
It's
Nebraska, it's a Great Plains state. You ever heard of?
Yeah, but Ohio gets a lot of reports.
Yeah, Ohio isn't a plain state.
What else?
Ohio has forests. Nebraska doesn't. It's a cornfield. It's a couple 100 miles across.
Yeah, you're right.
So I said, okay, well, we'll make this extra difficult. We'll go to Nebraska where there aren't basically any Bigfoot, and we'll try and do boots on the ground and find Bigfoot, just like this purported attempting to find Bigfoot show does on TV. Only, like I said, we'll have actual Bigfoot researchers. And I cheated a little bit, and I got a hold of Rich Soul, who just happens to live in Nebraska and is probably the best Bigfoot researcher in the state. Couldn't make it to the conference. But I said, "What are you doing the day before the conference?" He's like, "Why?" And I said, "Can you get the time off? We want to go Bigfooting with you." I'm going to be there a day before, and a couple of the other people that are giving speeches at the conference are going to be there the day before. And he went, "Okay, well, let me see if I get the time off." So sure enough, he got back to me and said, "I got Thursday off." And we're like, "Okay, cool." So some of them flew in. We drove 2 days, got there Wednesday night. And Thursday morning, we got up early, quote unquote. We're all jet lagged and beat up. Sure. And as soon as every grumpy person, including myself, managed to load into 2 vehicles, we did the 2-hour drive over to where Rich was. So as we're on the way there, I'm calling him and I'm like, "Okay, how many places are we going to go to?" And he's like, well, I couldn't get the whole day off. And I'm like, really? "Yeah, I have to go back to work later this afternoon." Okay. So by the time we got there, we actually had 3 hours boots on the ground in Nebraska to try and find Bigfoot. But that wasn't difficult enough. So we had to waste some time at an interpretive center about the bison that used to live there when it was all, buffalo grass 10 feet tall, and talk about how the Bigfoot that used to live there probably were hunting the bison that used to live there. So then it's like, okay, well, when do you have to leave? Well, he tells me, and I'm like, okay, we have 2.5 hours left. This is getting more and more difficult. Well, I can't get you guys very far out in the country because we don't have enough time to drive there and back before I have to get back to work. But there's 2 little creeks here in the suburbs of Lincoln, Nebraska where I find Bigfoot sign. Well, reason why is because they're floodplains. You can't build on them. But that doesn't mean these things are very wide. Of several hundred yards across, and that's it. And then you're back up on a ridge with houses for miles. So I went, okay, well, let's go to these two different places. So by the time everything was said and done with drive time in between, we had 1 hour in each place. And when you guys watch the video, you can see what we found, which was lots of tracks, lots of structures, a deer kill, scat. There were actually 2 Bigfoot across the ravine from us that we were trying to get on video, and I think I caught one of them just for a split second, and that was it. But then later on that same day, Christy got a picture of 2 of them about 20 feet away. So it's pretty, and the one looks like a damn hillbilly. He's got a beard and everything. It's like, what the hell? Bigfoot here in Nebraska look weird.
Sure, they're Bigfoot.
So yeah, that was our big expedition, inevitably finding Bigfoot. So that's what we're calling it, inevitably finding Bigfoot. Part 1 is already up on Rumble, and part 1 is just the trip out there with me and Ashton, starting here in western Montana and driving all the way down to central Nebraska, which took us 2 days. And we had sightseeing along the way and going through the Black Hills, and stayed overnight at Deadwood, went and visited the grave of
very cool.
Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane first thing in the morning before we took off, and then got more awesome rockin' video and went through the sand hills of Nebraska and everything. And you can tell the mood changes as the video goes along. It starts out with a totally modern heavy metal soundtrack, and as we're going eastward out onto the plains and away from the mountains, it becomes more country rock. And then as we leave Deadwood, it just turns into a flat-out spaghetti western movie. So I'm saying part 1 is the greatest spaghetti western Bigfoot documentary ever. And part 1 is called A Fistful of Mountain Men. Part 2 is when we assemble the Wild Man bunch, and we all go out and do the research that day. And the team consists of Richard Soul from the Knox Gigas Project, Christy Sci-Fi from Bigfoot Explorer and Bigfoot Research Evidence Podcast, Viking Ashton, one of my team members, myself, and Blaine frickin' Tyler from the Bigfoot Barn in Northeast Ontario. So they totally couldn't escape. There was no escape for them. We were definitely going to find something. But the picture that we got with the whole team of all 5 members lined up is really hilarious, because pretty much everybody on the team is the same height except Christy, who's really short. So we're calling part 2 the Magnificent 4.5.
Oh, I love it.
And everybody on the team has their own spaghetti western soundtrack, so you'll know who's showing the video depending on what the soundtrack is in the background at the time. And we all got code names. Rich Soul is Soul Man, and Chrissy is Sue Kalu, and Viking Ashton, I'm Duke, of course, and then Blaine is Canadian Bacon. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to call him Tracker because that's his nickname already anyway, and it sounds more cowboy-like.
Chris Jarvis, what's up?
Right? How you doing, Chris?
Chris. So, yeah, I think we're going to be filming part 2 here this summer. I'm already trying to line up the celebrity cast for that. And so far we've got Keith Crabtree, the man that wore the suit in the Legend of Boggy Creek.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be our ground crew. And one of the other celebrity Bigfooters that I got about 90% of the way talked into it, believe it or not, is Kelly Shaw from Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, who won't even do a friggin' TV show anymore. But I just about got him talking. It's like, hey, this ain't a TV show. This is actual researchers. Come on.
So, Kelly.
Part 2 of inevitably finding Bigfoot. We'll do one in each state. Part 1 was tough. That was, Nebraska. Part 2, Montana. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. But every time we have to have there's only one local person on the team, and everybody else is from somewhere else. And that's part of the gimmick, because we got to duplicate the never finding Bigfoot, as far as having people that aren't from that area come in and do their best to find Bigfoot, except in this case, actual researchers. So we actually find Bigfoot. We don't keep you hanging for 10 years. We're going to show you Bigfoot in episode 1.
Yeah, but that's TV, though.
Yeah,
man.
we'll show you Bigfoot in episode 1, because this isn't some fake-ass bullshit TV
like it's
show.
fucking Oak Island.
This is fucking reality here.
Long.
Yeah, this is reality, not some fake-ass bullshit TV show.
Well, that's a little bit refreshing.
Ida Bustamante, have a wonderful night. Thank you for coming. Great
Good
to
night,
see you.
Ida.
Suzanne, how are you? No, I'm looking forward to seeing some more of your stuff.
Now, if you want to see the
I've just been
presentation
so
from the
busy. I
Nebraska conference,
don't watch anybody's stuff.
presentation from the
Lately.
Nebraska conference is like a best of Bigfoot for 2 years. So, if you want to see lots of video of Bigfoot and gigantic structures, that's the video. It's
It's one
1
thing you
hour
get
long.
big. Yeah, your structures out there are huge.
Because the Bigfoot up here are huge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. They've
30
got
foot,
big building
yeah.
material and they're big enough to move it around.
Yeah.
You know, like I just said, I found 3 22-inch tracks last weekend, and I'm not like going, oh my God, hugest thing ever. We know they get that big up here. I found 21-inch tracks a couple times before already. Like, yeah, they get big up here. You know, I
You
haven't
come
found
down to
anything
Florida,
over 2 feet long yet, but I
come
keep
down to
hearing
Florida, you'll be
rumors
like,
that
oh, how
it is.
cute.
Oh, I've lived in Florida. I lived in Florida 3 times. I've done
Oh,
skunk
that's
ape
right.
research.
I remember you
Yeah.
saying that.
Skunk apes aren't the same as a Sasquatch are. They're more like they have less rules, less. It's more like a bunch of crazy drunken frat kids than it is like an actual Bigfoot troop. You cannot trust what the hell they're going to do,
It's
and they
perpetual
really like to
spring
play
break.
pranks and shit. Yeah,
Right.
they're dangerous. They're not
Right.
reliable.
Sasquatch.
Not good research subjects.
You've lived in a lot of places, Duke.
Yep.
I mean, shit, we lived in the same town, Prescott, Wisconsin.
Where were you when you were here in Florida?
In Florida, I was living in the Clearwater area.
Okay. So you know Paso Grill Beach.
Mm-hmm. Yep, been all over the area down there.
Love that beach. That's my favorite spot.
I wasn't a beach person. I was just like, where the hell can you camp in this frickin' state?
No, me either, but that's the only beach that I think I spend a day at here in Florida for sure.
Yeah, camping is a little weird down here.
Yeah, I did it in the middle of the winter when it was so brutally cold that nobody else would go out camping because it was actually predicted to be in the upper 20s that night. And I went, shit, yeah, I'm going camping. I got the woods to myself.
Right.
And I did. It was just me and the skunk apes, and that was it.
Where would you camp out when you were in Florida?
I had a friend that had 5 acres of property over near the Rainbow River, and we used to camp over there. And there was, at the time, plenty of woods there. And skunk apes running around in it.
Donald Fuller says they're 15 feet tall in Florida, according to Z.
Who's Z?
Zasky.
Yeah, right.
You know what's funny is you could hear the dread in having just to say the name.
I was comfortable with Z and just.
I know. Right?
I think everybody knew except Duke.
Yeah. Z has a vast public record of unreliability that's easy to find if you want to look into.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm well aware.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, if you want to see an actually huge Bigfoot, you can go look at the one that Blaine Tyler got by accident. That it was later measured because he went back to where it was and measured the tree it was standing next to, and that one was 17 feet tall. And now he did an update northeast Ontario, almost up by the Canadian Shield.
Oh, wow.
And there was just a thing that came out on episode 106 of Subarctic Alaska Sasquatch, which had video in it. You know, he never puts video on his show. And he took that show down about 3 days later for some peculiar reason. But it had really cool video of a helicopter pilot that was doing a survey, and he had been tasked to fly out to an area that was already staked out as an area owned by a prospector. And his job was just to fly there, land there, make sure that the stake signifying he had that plot was still there. Nobody's out there messing with it, fly back again. So he lands the copter in the field. He starts a video on the copter. He pans this way, and then he looks down next to him. Here's the stake right here. There's all your big open field. Nobody's messing with it. Everything's fine. Turns the camera off, goes back in the copter. While he's panning across, there's a Sasquatch standing directly in front of him in the tree line. It's about a third taller than the trees it's standing next to. And it's hard to scale how big it is. But Blaine, who got the other gigantic one, did a side-by-side comparison with the pictures of it on his channel. And he opines that it's actually bigger than the 17-footer he got. And I showed it to Robin, and she said, well, I don't know how big he is exactly, but he's giving off an energy signature like a friggin' nuclear reactor.
Yeah, I recently got turned on to Fred, and I've literally binge watching for I don't know, 2 weeks now.
I was gonna say a couple of weeks now.
That's all I watch is shit. I'm almost through all of stuff.
Well, he's got a podcast. You don't have to watch anything. You can listen to it. That's the only reason I was on episode 1.
Well, that's what I mean.
Somebody else told me put video on there, and I went, "Oh, actual evidence. I want to see this." So then I went and looked at it, and yeah, this is spectacular. And if I would have thought for a second he was just going to, take it down for some random reason, coward, I would have recorded it. So I had a copy of it. As it was, we took a bunch of screen captures of it, so we've got static pictures, but we don't have the actual video.
Huh.
Oh, that's cool.
I'm going to show something. Make sure you got permission before you put it out there. And if you got permission, you don't take it down again, rookie.
True. But I think that to me, it's like where his stories are coming from. The people that are telling them that are, he's telling stories for, are more believable than a lot of shit I've heard.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt whatsoever. I don't think any of his stories are embellished. I think he's.
I don't either.
Directly from the horse's mouth.
I can believe it all.
The thing I do like about him, although I could give a crap less about narrator channels for the most part, I don't pay that much attention to them because I want to see the evidence. That's what I'm all about. But like he just did one on the Kenai Peninsula, where it's this really long, involved story with this bear hunter, and the thing runs to almost like 45 minutes. And trying to remember all those details and then spit them out again without a teleprompter or something.
Yeah, but
he's not reading them off his cell phone like friggin' Elmer Fudd over there is doing.
No, but he does like interview and re-interview and takes notes and he learns these stories.
Yeah, but again, he's not reading the damn thing. He's got
he's telling it straight out. But he does research it and he memorizes it.
So does Base Camp Chris, who always has to have a new beer every time.
Yes.
What I don't understand about him is, Chris, why tell the story and then have the interview with the guy on after the fact?
Right.
You're wasting my time.
I don't watch I don't think I've watched any of his stuff.
Yeah. I have a few, and you're right. He tells a story and then does the interview. It's like, kind of why bother?
Pointless. Pick one of the two. If you can understand the guest and they're a good storyteller, run that. If they're not a good storyteller, tell your version of it.
Right.
But doing both is just like you're doubling up on your amount of time for what? Watch time? It's a waste of time.
Yeah. Mr. Lee says, I used to wish Grizzly Adams was my dad.
I wouldn't mind having a pet grizzly, but in the Bigfoot areas I go into, he'd probably end up getting in a tussle with them. And then
we had 2 black bears in my park today inside the fence line. This guy was come running in the office and, he looked like he saw a ghost. He just freaked out, said he was walking the trail.
You're down in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bears are not very common in Florida, so people panic like shit when they see one.
Yes.
Is that a giant black dog? Oh my God, it's a bear! I've heard horrible things about them from people in other states where they actually get big, and they have a bunch of them.
Yeah, no, they're not that big down here. Stevie and I were at a park, and I got bluff charged by one of.
Yeah,
it was all bluff. He saw you and went, "Oh, this guy's way too big. I'm turning around."
Well, it's funny, as a couple was coming around the walkway, they were from Alaska. They were like, "Yeah, that little thing,"
I don't think the bear appreciated me going, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty."
Did you see the video of the people? I think it was around that down in the Tampa area where they got that one park that's got the raised walkway. It's all wood and it's got hand railings on it. Kind of goes through a swamp area. And while these people are going through their filming, a freaking mountain lion jumps up on it and goes running right past this one guy.
Yeah.
That was cool. I've been to that park. As soon as I saw that video, I'm like, oh shit, I've been there.
Been there. Yep.
Why didn't this happen while I was there? That would have been cool.
Yeah, right. Now this guy walking on the trail, he cuts a corner and he said he thought it was a dog at first, then it kind of moved from behind the tree and then saw another one. They were juveniles. They were just rolling around playing. First thing I said was, "Where's Mama?" They're out there playing. Mama's probably real close. But God, he freaked out big time. And one of my maintenance guys, went and rode around and didn't see him. But it is rare. I think 18 years I've been in this park. That's probably the 5th time we've had a bear inside the fence line.
Excuse me.
It must be getting a
Mr.
little
Lee
bit
says,
bigger
I also
bear
like Little House
population
on the
there.
Prairie. That's a story for another time.
Interesting side note on Little House on the Prairie. That's the second book. The first one is Little House in the Big Woods. They're both set in Minnesota. I know
Yeah.
exactly where both those places are. And there was a little town about 12 miles from where they had the setting of Little House on the Prairie. That's the little town my mom grew up in. So she loved that friggin' show because it reminded her when she was a kid. It was set in the same time period, in the same place.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah, what was the name of the town that they would go to? It was the biggest town closest to them. It was almost a city.
Yeah, that's probably the one my mom grew up in. I don't even remember the names anymore. It's been too long.
I don't remember either.
And I wasn't really a fan of Little House on the Prairie because she liked it because of nostalgia, and I was more like Star Trek and Terminator. And, yeah, Fairies on the Prairie. I don't want to watch that. You can go watch that, Mom.
Danny Staten said Walnut Grove.
No, that's where they lived, was in Walnut Grove, but they would go to Mankato.
Oh yeah, Mankato's a big town now.
Yeah,
that's not the one my mom lived in. There was another small town that was nearby there that was bigger than,
Mankato was the site of the largest hanging in history, and
nice.
they were all Native Americans.
Oh, that's when they were having the Indian Wars.
And
yeah,
that happened in Mankato, and to this day, I mean, like when I was living there, I met these guys that they would do a ride every year in the snow on horseback and redo that trail. That were these, how these prisoners at the time were led to, their demise. But every year they do this, like, I don't know how many miles it is, but it's brutal because it's in dead winter, and you know what it's like in there.
Oh, it's lovely in Minnesota in the dead of winter.
Oh, I would die.
Temperatures are like around 20 below. It's nice.
No,
it would kill me, literally. I mean,
I did one winter of that, and then we got into the second winter. I'm like, nope. We're going back to Arizona. I've been in
Florida so long, I get chills, shivering if it's 50. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. That would kill me. I can't fathom temperatures.
So we go camping here in the middle of the summer, and it's 100 degrees down in the valley. And when we get up to where we're actually camping in the Bigfoot are, it's at most 80 degrees. And then by 4 in the morning, it's 25 degrees.
Well, that's similar to Arizona, as far as it's all about elevation. You got a little more elevation in Montana, like the average.
I don't know. You guys got plenty of elevation where you're at.
Flagstaff here?
No, Flagstaff up the northern part of the state where it goes into the mountains. All those areas got plenty of elevation.
Yeah, like 7,000 feet. It's like the average.
7,000. That's over a mile. Yeah. That's about where my research area is at, except mine's in the middle of a mountain range. And the area around it's about 3,000-4,000 feet lower.
But yeah, here down in Florida, you the tallest thing down here is a bridge.
Right.
There's no mountains. There's speed bumps.
When I was living in Clearwater, we actually were living on the highest chunk of land in that area, and it was 30 feet above sea level.
We were traveling recently through Central Florida, not far from here, and it was bizarre because all of a sudden we realized that we're going up a hill.
Oh my God!
I said hill.
A hill.
It was a good size incline. I was like, where the hell are we?
It was great. For a second, it did not look or feel like Florida at all.
No,
it wasn't just like a little. It was a good sized hill.
Probably a mile long and
yeah.
incline and
Sounds like the Dakotas and Nebraska, flat as a friggin' pancake. Although we got some epic video on the way out there, though, which is why it kind of turned into a spaghetti western, because all the videos started looking like the backgrounds on a spaghetti western. So I just kind of slapped a spaghetti western soundtrack on it.
That's cool.
It's really good. Yeah, it's 20 minutes long. Fistful of Mountain Man. It's over on my Rumble channel. Go check it out.
Donald said it was an Indian mound, Mogs. Well, there's a lot of them down here.
Yes, there is.
Yeah, we don't have. I don't think there's any Indian mounds out here. It was not. Mound builder culture is all kind of wrapped down the Mississippi River over on that side of the country.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
We have megaliths here that we're not supposed to have, and science is just starting to figure out that we have megaliths here. There's enough people that are filming them and talking about it now. They're starting to pay attention to it. Little Jimmy from the Bright Insight channel, who's got like 3 million subs, finally got wind that it's going on, and he's planning a trip out here this summer to see it firsthand himself.
You have pictures of them, don't you?
Oh, I got video of it. We've been over there for 2 years.
The ones that are standing up.
Yep, standing stones, all kinds of weird stuff. We found another place we call the Fortress. That looks like they made a megalithic fortress because you got walls 15 feet high. You go up on the top of that, it's flat. Then there's another wall 15 feet high. It's just like a pyramid. It keeps going in and up, just like somebody made a fortress out of it. We filmed all that. And when I was coming down from that, I caught an object on the top of a ridge about half a mile away, so big I could see it from half a mile away, and zoomed in on it with my camera. And sure as shit, there's an absolutely gigantic Sasquatch standing up there right on the ridge line watching us. Well, we had just walked past a teepee structure that apparently one of them made, so it was sitting there watching us walking past the teepee structure.
Wow.
I'm still.
We were not expecting to find any Bigfoot out there. Yeah, apparently Don Monroe got that kind of treatment from Blaine Tyler when they were in Nebraska. And, Monroe's like, 80 or something. He's been running around doing Bigfoot stuff forever. And he's sitting there telling Blaine all the stuff about his background and everything and all the stuff that's happened. And I don't think he knows who Blaine is. And Blaine's like not very impressed. And he goes, "Well, how many pictures you got with you?" So, "I don't have any pictures with you." And Blaine's like, "Oh, you want to see some?" Whips out the cell phone, starts showing him picture after picture after picture after picture after picture, to the point where Don couldn't take it anymore and walked away.
I actually was almost convinced that I had a Bigfoot experience the other night, and then I went back and I listened to all these different owls. And I found the barred owl, and that's what it was. But it was so friggin' loud, and there was like 2 or 3 of them next to each other, and they were about 75 feet away from me. And it was just the strangest thing I ever heard. It sounded like a bird with a monkey. So I was convinced that I got goosebumps as soon as they went off. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, sometimes they will chatter like that, but having multiple ones doing it and really loud, that's kind of suspicious.
It was bizarre.
I saw
Bigfoot down there mimic barred owls, because we've heard like anything from spectacular to really crappy versions of them imitating barred owls.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the owls, because I couldn't. I had gone through.
You heard William Lunsford do a barred owl call that he's done on my channel? It sounds exactly like a barred owl.
Oh, yeah?
And that's from a human.
The fact that there were so many of them, that's what got me, and it was so
that's
loud.
shouldn't be going on. No.
Well, I recorded it. I was recording a message. I was sending it to her.
For me.
To Stevie, and all of a sudden I'm like, are you hearing this shit? And they were going off, and I recorded it just on the messenger, and then it got even louder and just like they were really going off, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
Your first instinct was, this is not, what'd you say? This isn't a fucking owl or something. You said
These
something.
are fucking owls.
Yeah, and it didn't sound like it.
So,
no,
and then I heard the call of the barred owl, and I was like, ah, damn it.
I still said it sounded suspicious because there was just so many of them, and it was so loud, and you listen to it, Yeah, it does sound like the barred owl, but yeah, something didn't seem right about just how many and how loud it was. It sounded like it was right over top of you. I know you walked towards it, but that was
Yeah,
loud
no,
from the start.
it's not a barn owl, not the first one, Mr. Lee. It's a barn.
Barn.
Bard. How do you spell it? It's not B-A-R-D.
BARD, by the way.
Yeah, it's R-R-E-D.
BARD.
Yeah.
That might be a British barred owl, but not an American one. Anyway, we've had some interesting stuff with vocalizations and whatnot that you weren't really sure at the time what you were hearing, and then you go back and do a serious look at it and go, well, there's no way that was actually the actual animal. It was way too loud. There's multiple ones in different areas making the same call to each other. They're all way too loud. Sometimes there's a giveaway too when you hear an owl call and then it morphs into a crow. Well, clearly that's not an owl.
No.
Yeah.
These were sitting in the same tree.
Mm-hmm. Well, it might have been them just talking to each other.
It all came from the same spot.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I can't spell. Mr. Lee.
Yeah, we had some fun with that when we were filming Inevitably Finding Bigfoot at location 2. They had this big rambling courses of this river. There was actually a creek, but it's 30-foot deep mud embankment, almost straight down both sides. So you're not walking down it, We're walking along the edge of it, trying to see if anything had walked up and down it because he's, muddy. You could see tracks if anything had. So I'm way over on the left-hand side. Blaine's way over on the right-hand side. And there's over on his side, there's a train track across the creek from him, and there's a train going by. So being a smart guy that he is, he decides he's going to use the advantage of the train making noise in the background to sneak up right onto the edge of the riverbank while nobody can hear him. So he gets over there and he pops up and the train just finishes going by. And as soon as the train goes by, he hears this really loud wood knock. And he immediately assumes it's us screwing with him. So he goes, "Knock it off, you guys. I'm not falling for it." Then he thinks about it for a minute and goes, "Is there a bridge to get across here to the other side over there where that wood knock came from?" And he kind of turned around and looks back, and everybody was 50 yards behind him in the woods, not anywhere near him. And he just heard the wood knock from in front of him across the river. And he suddenly realizes, oh, crap, that was a real wood knock. My buddy screwed with me. That was an actual wood knock over there. Yeah, great reaction.
Up, guys.
Pop. Knock it off, you guys. I'm not falling for it.
Yeah, but to come to that realization of, oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Nobody's over there. Duke's way the hell over there. Everybody else is behind me, and there's no way to get across this ravine to the river over to the other side. It's, what are you going to go on all fours and crawl up the mud embankment? It's the only way you get over there.
Take care, Jen. Good night. See, it still said feel better. Oh, heck, yes, feel better.
Yep. So, yeah, I'm disappointed. We wanted to get out and go up to Blue Mountain and do some looking around for tracks and stuff up there today, but got rained out, craptacular weather. Maybe can get up there at some time later on this week, but I'm just, trying to get out in Dobb Woods as much as I can now that I have a working vehicle and have multiple people that are all excited to want to actually go out and do something this year. Which also means that we actually have more than one team going. Sometimes we'll have Helena boys over there a couple 100 miles away running around in one of their areas. At the same time, we're over here closer to where I'm at with either me and Johnny, my new roommate and Bigfoot research team member over here. And that's the first part of the show, actually, is the same weekend. We're over here finding tracks, and they're over there finding structures and tracks. Pretty much the same time, which is kind of cool. Now, if I could just get Mike to start doing something again, he's in a completely different part of Montana. We could have 3 teams with boots on the ground all at the same time.
It's good that you're getting that much, you're getting into it more,
Oh, I've always been into it. It's trying to get everybody else into it.
You're expanding, I mean?
Well, that's just because I take people out in the woods. They actually find Bigfoot evidence, and then they get excited and they want to keep doing it. And maybe they can't get over here, but, they're 2 hours away over there in a different mountain range, 3 hours away up there in a different mountain range. I'll go look around where you live. Well, now they know what to look for. So guess what? They find things.
That's
So they can just go run around
Yeah.
and, film their own stuff, send it to me, and I'll put out the videos.
right on.
It's amazing how when you have an idea of what to look for, you usually see it. But
Oh,
most
yeah, that has a lot to
clueless.
do with it. The people are always like, well, I've been out in the woods for years and I've never seen a Bigfoot.
I've
You
heard.
have
I've
no
heard
idea
that.
what to look for.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And even if you do, it's incredibly hard to spot them. People that know they're in the area, know what to look for, and are walking around filming with their camera, still usually don't see them. They'll get them on the camera, and they could be really close to you, and you still don't see them. You look at the video afterwards, you're like, holy crap, how did I miss that? I'm friggin' blind. What am I? Mr. Magoo wandering around the woods. Oh, excuse me, sir, as you're bumping into a tree.
And yeah, but everybody that says that is thankful they didn't see it in the woods when they were filming. To find it later, they're like,
Because
oh,
of how close it is and how big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the big female laying on the ground about 25 feet away behind some fallen logs giving me the stink eye. I was pretty glad I didn't see that at the time. And then the other 12-foot tall one that was like about 30 feet right behind me. I'm kind of glad I didn't notice him when I turned around to film because I was really looking. That was precautionary. I could feel there was something behind me watching me. And
I mean,
the
I've got
precautionary
that.
thing you do is you turn around to your camera and you film it, and then you turn back again. And if you're
I've
not
got that
standing there
4 second-
filming them,
hold on, Steve.
they'll just ignore
I'm
you.
sorry.
If you stand there and keep filming them, then you're asking for trouble. But if you just do a pan across them or something, they don't think you got them on camera. They don't care then. They're not paying any attention. So that's a good thing to do. And, of course, you got a 12-foot Bigfoot 30 feet behind you. You don't want to piss him off. That would be a bad idea.
No.
But mainly I just do it I've done this quite a few times for precautionary because missing 411. I can feel there's something behind me watching me and it doesn't feel happy. Turn around, catch it on video. Well, if I disappear and somebody finds my video camera, they might be able to figure out what got me.
What were you gonna say, Stevie?
Oh, I was just going to say, I know that feeling, not from Bigfoot, but that 4 second video of that cat that they took and didn't even realize it. It's that first second of seeing the picture of it, like, holy shit, it was right there, 20 feet from me, didn't hear anything, didn't see anything. I couldn't imagine it being, a 12-foot Sasquatch or,
Oh,
we were camping down at this place where we did the 168 with Carrie, and we go camping there all the time now. But she was in her wheelchair at the time. She hadn't had her prosthetics yet, and she's on a fence line, and this side of the fence and the tree line is 30 feet away.
If that.
And she saw a dark hole, so she took a picture of it. But then inadvertently, she hit the camera, the video, and she got 4 seconds of that same shot. But behind the bushes, you see half the back end of a cat, big cat, step out of frame. You see the back legs and the tail straight out, and that's a big cat. And she didn't realize
hear the steps.
4 months later.
You could hear the steps and the audio from it. And like 3 months later, I'm going through my phone and just erasing, unnecessary pictures, mistakes, and come across that one, and I'm like, what is this? I hit play, and I'm like, oh shit. It's incredible how it could be right there, that close, didn't see or hear anything.
Yep.
And as big as it is, or was.
Good example of that. I was digging through some video that I filmed 3 years ago now, surrounded by Sasquatch. In the opening sequence, I'm following this game trail that's so deep it looks like a cow path. It's like rutted into the ground. And there's huge moose tracks. The moose track is bigger than my foot. So I got a good obvious one. I stopped there. I put my foot next to it. I'm trying to film the moose track with my foot next to it. And I'm like, oh, the sun's in the wrong position. So I step around the track, put my foot on the other side of it, and I continue to film it. Now, Mike isn't there. He's still way behind me, hasn't caught up. I'm out there by myself being stupid filming. I don't know where the hell I am or what's going on. I've never been there before. So I'm looking at this piece of video of me filming the moose track. And as I step around the moose track and I'm swinging the camera around, it's already filming, there's the base of a pine tree that I'm like literally less than 10 feet away of because I'm filming the ground. but I'm catching the edge of this pine tree with the branches coming down. There's a big friggin' yellow eye with a black pupil right in there watching me. And then I looked at it closer, and there's the outline of a Sasquatch, head, shoulders, and the whole thing, and both his eyes right next to the base of the tree watching me. I was like no more than 10 feet from them. And I never even noticed that before. If I had been back looking at that and then caught that yellow eye and went, wait, what the hell was that? And then I swung it back and went frame by frame through it and went, oh my God. I should be dead so many times by now.
Right.
But it also gives you an idea that they have no, at least in your case,
Well, they ain't out to
desire
get me
harm
anyway, yeah, because I've got both Bigfoot and Dogman on video. And, that was number 3 right there, because right after that, a few seconds later, I filmed that pan around and I catch a different one. And then I've gotten one since then that was a different color. So there could be at least 3 of them up there that are hanging around to that Sasquatch group. And that Sasquatch group, apparently they like me. So I'm figuring if the Dogmen are hanging around them, they got to pretty much abide by the same rules. So I probably don't have to worry about them either. They're just curious.
Well, I don't know. I'm still on the fence about Dogman.
Yeah, I think
There are stories of them hanging out together,
Yeah,
and
well,
it's
we
usually
got
like
video of them hanging out together.
one
Robin's
Dogman
got
with a bunch of
Yep,
feet, not
Yep.
the other way around.
yep, exactly. I got a friend down in Louisiana that's got a couple dogmen that hang around with the group that they're interacting with. Robin's got dogmen hanging around with her group over in the Carolinas. I got video of the dogmen hanging around with my groups up. Actually, both groups up here in Montana have dogmen hanging around with them.
So, Duke, in your opinion, or maybe you know the answer, how long has it been? Have you noticed dog? Excuse me, I'm sorry. How long has it been that you've been aware of Dogman? I mean, has it always been in the beginning from,
Oh, of course, I've been hearing the stories about that since I was a little kid, werewolf,
Really?
Wolfman with Lon Chaney and shit. And now it's just
Yeah,
become
but
this
that's
Dogman thing. Well, it is actually different, but most people don't know that.
Right.
So, did I think Dogman was real? I don't know. I hear about lots of cryptids being real, but until I see some pretty good evidence, I don't think they're actually real. But, now that I filmed several of them, yeah, I believe they're real.
When was the first time you filmed one?
3 years ago.
Okay.
And he had about a dozen Bigfoot around him. I was just doing his pan around in a circle, and they were all over the place in the woods watching me. And there was 2 young Sasquatch that were standing there, and in this tree next to him had like a little curve in it, and the Dogman had his head sticking around there and was looking at me.
I don't know what I mean. I think I'd be ready to see a Bigfoot, like, because I know what it was. But to see a Dogman, I'd lose my shit.
Right.
That's how. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
Oh, Dogman is part of the problem with that is the logical disconnect, because you can understand with your logical mind how there could conceivably be some kind of big ape-like thing running around the woods.
Yeah.
But how could there be an upright dog-looking thing or a wolf-looking thing that's got human hands with claws on it? And there's just like no way is that natural. If it actually exists, somebody made it.
That's what you hear all the time. Oh, the government made them. No,
the government didn't make them, but yeah, they do exist, and somebody made them. And Bigfoot exists, and somebody made them too.
Well, we exist. Somebody made us.
Yeah,
exactly.
There you go.
Could be the same mad scientist. That's what Bigfoot says. They said the mad scientist's name is Tahoe. That's what they call God. And they said he created them and us.
Mm-hmm. Tahoe?
Tahoe. Just like Lake Tahoe. That's what they call God. Tahoe. The ones down south call him that anyway. I don't know what the ones around here call him.
All right.
Good night, Sharon guy.
Oh, good night, Sharon. Yeah, actually, geez, we're already 2 hours in. Guys, check out Duke's channel if you want to check out some of the videos he's been talking about and his his outings he's been doing. Check out his channel, guys. We're on Bigfoot Radio. Sorry.
And if you want to know the difference between werewolves and dogman and skinwalkers, you can go watch the episode I turned out 2 weeks ago with Danielle Diva, where we did a deep dive into European lore on the subject. An episode called Werewolves of the Carpathian Mountains, currently at 12,000 views. And we're doing a part 2 of it. We're going to talk about something equally as little known over here on our side of the big Atlantic puddle. And that is that, yeah, everybody knows there were witch trials and they used to burn witches and all that kind of stuff. But what a lot of people don't know is there were actually werewolf trials. And this was like a lot of them going on for several
Really?
hundred years. Yeah, you don't usually hear about that, right? So that's part 2 that we're going to be putting out here shortly, too.
That's interesting.
Now, how does the skinwalker come into play? Because that's
Skinwalker is
that was
essentially the same thing. It's a shapeshifter, and that's all a werewolf is. Now, were beings aren't just wolves. In Africa, they've got were hyenas. In other parts of the world, they have other were creatures, were bears, were whatever, werewolves. Those are all shapeshifters, and they get their powers through black magic. And that's the same thing with the skinwalker.
That's
They get
what I was
their
gonna get
powers through black magic, and they can change shape. And according to caveman, they're not actually even, in most cases, they're not physically changing shape. They've got actually their astral form that is powerful enough that you can see it is in that shape. And that's why if you shoot them, you're not going to hurt them. Bullet's going to go right through their astral form. And they're running around, they're not leaving any tracks because they're not physically there. It's their astral form.
Interesting.
Kind of like Luke Skywalker in that crappy Star Wars movie that Disney turned out. In case any of you saw that and didn't vomit.
Which one was that?
The most recent one where they did their best to ruin his character and he just projected a force ghost to go fight the bad guys, wasn't even physically there, and they couldn't understand where they were shooting at him with blasters and everything, and nothing was hurting him because he wasn't actually there.
It's a good analogy, though.
Same thing.
Well, right on. Duke, I want to thank you. We're gonna wrap this up. I want to thank you for coming and hanging out, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, I haven't been on your show in about a year, so I figured it was about time to come pay you guys a visit, and I can catch you up on all the cool stuff that's going on. And
always look forward to it.
Go see Inevitably Finding Bigfoot Part 1, A Fistful of Mountain Men, already up on Rumble. It will never be on YouTube because it will immediately get struck for all of the copyright infringements on the music that I do not have permission to use, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, YouTube. It's already got hundreds of views on Rumble. Go watch it.
Duke, I've been dying for you to come on and wanted you to talk about Gleb, so you got to come back.
All right.
For real.
Well, sometime this summer. I got the summer off. I've been doing twice a week on Spaced Out Radio, the Cryptid Report during the third hour, Tuesdays and Thursdays for about a year and a half. And I just went, Dave, I have working vehicle now. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the woods, and I'm not going to be tied down to having to be on your show every Tuesday and Thursday night. So sorry, find somebody else for the summer. As soon as Bigfoot season's over, I'll come back. But until then, no.
Well, I look forward to it. I should have asked you questions earlier, but I was so enthralled in what you were talking about.
So now you guys can all go over and troll Beast of the Woods and say, oh, sorry we missed it. We were watching Duke on Moog's show.
We already knew he was going on. I thought I didn't pop up, though. I think I looked up the wrong show.
Yeah.
I looked up Sawdust Beast. He's on Beast of the Woods.
Right.
Whatever. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Same thing.
Good to see you, Duke. Always.
Take care.
Yeah, man. Don't be a stranger. Talk to you soon. Well, guys, we are at the 2-hour mark. I want to thank Duke for coming out. Claude Noel for checking in. Danny, I know you tried, brother.
He's probably still trying. No, I did see earlier in chat, he said that he had a couple surgeries recently and he's very heavily medicated tonight.
Oh.
So that's probably why he was having technical difficulties.
All right. But yeah, guys, we will be back on Tuesday. And what else? That's about it.
The day before.
I hope everybody has a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. You know, We love you guys.
Yes, indeed. Good night, everybody.
Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace and God bless.